called Honest Police. We have a hotline, or also have a hotline with Pennac News. If you're a law enforcement officer and you don't feel you have support of your agency and you know your coworkers are doing wrong, reach out to us. We will protect you. We will protect your identity, and we will find what's going on and help stop the crime.
Let's put something together about that, because I would love to promote that more. If we can work together, I would love it.
Just dial 305-900-3069. That's 305-900-3069.
Blam! Is this Raz?
Yes. Sunrise.
Raz? The First 52.
Sunrise.
Raz? Live Tuesday nights.
Sunrise.
Raz?
Something that you know Bubba's going to like.
Angry White Guy Radio.
His point of view is different.
It's the First 52. Angry White Guy Radio. I love the content. Hey, it's the First 52. Raz with you.
The first part of the, Constitution.
This is the best you got.
Something that you know Bubba's going to like.
Angry White Guy Radio.
Join me, Sean Raz, Tuesday nights, 6 to 8 p.m., RazRadioLive.com, RadioFreeBlood.com.
If you can hear this, you're tuned into RazRadioLive.com, where basically we have a short Mexican in charge. Talk about diversity.
It's time for a TF52 flashback.
Hey, real quick, I want to get your opinion on this, Rob. I'm just going to read you the headline. I'm sure everybody knows about what happened to Hillary today. Clinton unable to testify before Congress on Benghazi, purported concussion cited.
Well, I don't know whether she bumped her head or not, which generally, bumping your head would lead to a concussion. But I'm a type of guy where I'm in sales, okay? I deal in sales. My job is to get somebody to buy, or my job is to take away somebody's money from them who has no interest in what I have or doesn't need what I have, but my job is to make them do so. And one of the things that I like to tell them is that, you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both. And obviously, in her case, she could make excuses or she could testify, but she can't do both. And she obviously chose to make excuses instead of testifying. And, we knew something. It was either going to come down to the fact that we would hear what Hillary had to say in regards to Benghazi, and or there would be some excuse why she wasn't able to. And obviously, we got the excuse end of it today, and it's no surprise to me.
I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I will say that I and it's not just because of my conservative leanings. I do think, though, that there's got to be a reason she doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, now, that's shifty. That's you talking, right?
That's me.
I'm not a conspiracy guy either. I used to be. I'm a conspiracy dropout. I'm a patriot dropout. I truly am. Believe me, I used to be the guy that was there handing out the DVDs. I used to be the guy there saying, what do you mean? What do you mean you drink the fluoride, you don't care? What do you mean as long as you have a dollar bill to buy your toilet paper, you don't need gold? What do you mean? What do you mean? I was that type of guy that would shove my shit down your throat, okay? But no longer am I. And now I come from more of a more conservative leanings. Just like you stated, I truly do. So I understand exactly where you're coming from on this. But the fact of the matter is that these folks will perpetrate and do everything that they have to do right in front of our face, and then tell us a story and we just eat it up like it's candy, my friend. Same thing goes with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is the Secretary of State. Hillary Clinton is the person who represents us and goes from country to country to country, making relations with these countries. That is her job. When something goes wrong with one of those relations, she is the one who is to be held accountable for. If I'm not mistaken, just days after the what I call for my terrorist leanings, yes, my conservative leanings. Did you hear me say terrorist leanings? That's funny. My conservative leanings is that she called it a terrorist attack, and and it was a terrorist attack. And she says I am responsible for this, which is true. It does fall on her.
Knightscope's robots are called the K3 and the K5. They're security robots. They're meant to roam around.
This is
Being a cat can be damn tedious. People dangling bells and bits of string in your face all the time. Just be a dog. Run around, catch frisbees, pee on a fire hydrant. Life's more rewarding, and you get access to lots of treats. Catch Salty Talk Mondays and Wednesdays, and every Friday for Salty's Weekend Warm-Up, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Add a little salt to your life, and be more dog.
Get the fuck up! Come on, everybody, let's get in line. Save America before it dies. March to the great White House of lies. With 10 million torches light up the sky. Right left, yeah. Yeah. So many of you feel the same. Reveling gasoline to your flame. Get freedom is speed and it never should lose. Many situations, no right to choose. So we march. So we march. So we march. We go right, left, we march. Yeah, we march. Yeah, we march. We go one by one. We march. Yeah, we march. Yeah, we march. We go right, left, we march. Yeah, we march. Yeah, we march. We go one by one. And if we don't stand up, we all die. We die one by one. And if we don't stand up, our children die. They die one by one. One by one. One by one. One by one. Our children die one by one until we march. Until we march. Until we march. Until we march. Yeah, until we march. Until we march. Until we march. We go right, left, we march. Yeah, we march. Yeah, we march. We go one by one. We march. Yeah, we march. Yeah, we march. We go right, left, we march. Yeah, we march. Yeah, we march. We go one by one. Right, left, right, left. One by one. Right, left, right, left.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
right, my friends. Just a treat. Oh, that's really loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. Hello, guys. How you doing? It's the First 52, RazRadioLive.com, Radio Free Blood, the Disruption Networks, the D, Radio Confluence, Radio Chaos, and all the other places that are just, got us on board with us. Thank you very much for carrying me. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be able to talk to you guys tonight and share all the craziness that I have to share. Tonight's going to be a lot of fun. You guys love when I have Scott Rickard on. I love when I have Scott Rickard on. We'll have a lot of things to talk about, him and I. So that's going to be kind of exciting. I love when he comes on. He's going to join me in the 7 o'clock hour. First hour, I'll do my ranting and raving and my stupidity and, what I've been seeing and what's been bothering me recently. Because there are a lot of those things out there that just get to you, They just really get to you. I'd like to congratulate Bubba the Love Sponge. You guys know he's a buddy of mine or somebody I follow, somebody I'm trying to get some attention on. I'm hoping eventually he'll carry my show. But some BS charges were brought up against him, and they were dismissed. They were found, nothing there. Good for him. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there because not everybody always talks about the good things that happen. A lot of different things on the home front. A lot of things in just what we look at on a daily basis that are just, it gets crazier and crazier and crazier every day. It's really weird how it doesn't seem to want to change. It just wants to keep getting worse and worse. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that or seeing that. It's craziness, though. I mean, we got Russian planes buzzing, U.S. ships. We've got U.S. nuclear bombers in South Korea because of North Korea. We've got just stupidity everywhere. We've got people here in America just being dumb and crazy in general. We've got major crazy. I keep saying crazy. I got to stop saying crazy. All right, the word to not use I'm going to write this down right now. No more crazy. I won't say crazy anymore tonight, but it is getting crazy. I'm such a dick sometimes. How it's people are just out of control. They're just out of control. They're acting weird. We've got these storms rolling in out of nowhere. These massive snowstorms. 70 degrees in upstate New York last week. You guys that are listening on the Disruption Network, did you notice the chemtrails being sprayed above you? Maybe right before this storm decided to move its way down this way? Was it the steering of the geoengineering of the climate change, or was it nefarious? Are you guys cold for a reason? Yeah. Who knows? I thought it was global warming. I know it's climate change. That's right. That's what it is now, climate change. But, things we talk about don't constantly end up as what's going on. We don't see things that we've discussed here on this show many a times over. I couldn't even tell you how many times we've talked about how most of the events we see in front of us, most of the events that happen, Matt and I talked about this last Thursday on his show. The question asked of me is everything a conspiracy? That was the question asked of me. Is everything a conspiracy? I don't want to say everything's a conspiracy, but we do know that everything can be used towards the direction of the elite. But does that mean everything's a conspiracy? No, I don't want to think everything's a conspiracy, but then we get a FBI undercover stings foils terrorist plots, but often plots of the agency's own making. I hate when they do this with the audio and no. Robert Heist Jr. is 25 and lives in Colombia. I forget this. Hold on. I hate when they put freaking. Why are you putting what's in the story onto a video that's just got music in the background? Give me somebody talking. That's the whole point of me using it, you idiots. All right, let's go here. Announcements of foiled terrorist plots make for lurid reading. Schemes to carry out a Presidential Day jihadist attack on the train station in Kansas City. Bomb a September 11th memorial. Blow up a 1,000-pound bomb in Fort Riley. Detonate a weapon of mass destruction at a Wichita airport. The failed plans all show imagination. But how much of it was real? Often not much. According to a review of several recent terrorism cases investigated by the FBI in Kansas and Missouri, the most sensational plots involving the making of an Islamic State or Al-Qaeda here were largely the invention of FBI agents carrying out elaborate sting operations on individuals identified through social media as being potentially dangerous. All right, did you hear what I said? Because I know I kind of stuttered on that. I don't know. My mouth isn't working quite right today. Maybe I'm having a heavy rotation. Who knows? Let's try that again, though. The most sensational plots invoking the name of Islamic State or Al-Qaeda here were largely the invention of the FBI agents carrying out elaborate sting operations on individuals identified through social media as being potentially dangerous. In fact, in terrorism investigations in Wichita, at Fort Riley, and last week in Kansas City, the alleged terrorists reportedly were unknowingly following the directions of undercover FBI agents who supplied fake bombs and came up with key elements of the plan. Now, if you've been listening to me for any period of time, you may remember an interview multiple different times with a gentleman named Kurt Haskell. And Kurt Haskell told a story of what appeared to him to be an organized, well-planned, well-thought-out event with somebody actually leading the way. You may remember the 93 bombing, the original World Trade Center attack in 93. There's audio tape of that bomb maker, the patsy of that attack, being told by his FBI handlers, after he questions why he was given real explosives to use, he's told to go ahead with the plan. To go ahead and allow that into the hands of the people he's supplying it to. What I get concerned about is where the plot is being hatched by the FBI, said Michael German, a fellow at the Bremen Center for Justice and former FBI agent. There has been a clear effort to manufacture plots. Law enforcement has increasingly used undercover agents and informants to develop such cases in recent years, especially against people suspected of being inspired by the Islamic State. Now, the other day on Matt Major's show, I was asked about the Boston bombing. I don't think the brothers, the Zarnov brothers, were terrorists. I believe they were either A, working as training dummies to see if they could get around with their packages, or they were patsies themselves. And that's why one had to die and one will never speak again. And they really wanted him dead. Law enforcement has increasingly used undercover agents to blah, blah, blah. I said that, sorry. Of 126 Islamic State-related cases prosecuted by federal authorities across the country since 2014, 126, really? Nearly two-thirds involved undercover agents or informants, according to the Center on National Security at the Fordham University School of Law in New York. The FBI has stepped up its use of sting operations, which were once seen as tactic of last resort. So if it's the tactic of first resort now, if it was the tactic of first resort, there is no need for last resort because you've just created your enemy. You've created the fear in the citizens you're there to protect. FBI officials have said the sting operations are just one tool for thwarting terrorist attacks. That scares me. And that the suspect in such cases are given many opportunities to back out before their arrest. Federal authorities employ the stings on the theory that a person willing to engage in terrorism would eventually find real accomplices to carry out an attack. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And if they were to find accomplices to carry out an attack, and the FBI and all the things put in place to assist the FBI in detecting and finding these things, don't you think you could find them without making them? Why do you have to make them if you have such a great net over us? Why do you have to make them? Such cases are almost never successfully challenged in court with entrapment defense. But some question whether the FBI is catching real terrorists or tricking troubled individuals into volunteering for a long prison sentence. The most recent alleged plotter, 25-year-old Robert Lorenzo Hester Jr., of course, we have to have 3 names. And we added the junior. Now we're going to start having 4 names, 5 names, 6 names. Of Colombia, was indicted last week after federal prosecutors accused him of participating in an Islamic State plan to cause mass casualties in a bombing attack on a train station and possibly buses and trains in Kansas City on February 20th. The 2 men leading Hester in the alleged plot were actually, so out of the 3 people involved in the plot, 2 were FBI undercover employees. They suggested the time, place, and type of attack, and loaned Hester $20 to buy 9-volt batteries, duct tape, roofing nails, and copper wire that they implied would be ingredients for a bomb. Hester reportedly failed to buy the copper wire, saying he could not find it. There were no actual bombs. So again, here's somebody going, I want to attack the United States. Fuck America. I want to attack the United States, but I can't find copper wiring. He's ready to go, but he can't find the copper wiring. That's, you know what? That goes to show you the level of millennials. Just think about the energy level of a millennial. They can't even figure out how to find some copper fucking wiring. That's how lazy they are. They can't do their terrorist attack. They can't find copper wiring. You lazy millennials. Lazy, lazy, lazy. The FBI employees had identified Hester as a suspect after seeing Facebook posts he made about his conversion to Islam, his hatred for the United States, and his belief that supposed U.S. mainstreamed... His supposed belief that... the United States and his belief that supposed U.S. mistreatment of Muslims had to be put to an end, according to court documents. Well, I don't hate the U.S. I hate the U.S. government. I'm not going to convert to Islam because I don't believe in religion, period. And, I think the mistreatment of Muslims by the U.S. government and the people of the United States should be put to an end. So, FBI, do you want to come kind of set me up for a terrorist attack now? You want to see if you can get me to blow something up? Maybe I'll blow something up for you. Maybe I'll shoot somebody for you. You want me to shoot somebody? I like to shoot somebody. Idiots. But despite Hester's denials, the FBI employees noted he continued to test positive for marijuana even though it is frowned upon by Islamic teaching. Yeah, you ever notice these Islamic crazy people never really follow the rules of Islam? Most of the 9/11 hijackers were doing cocaine and fucking strippers, days before they pulled off this alleged attack on the Twin Towers. Yeah, nice, eh? And he allegedly found it necessary to bring his children to a meeting with the FBI workers because he had no other options for child care. My friends, does this really sound like somebody who's going to go out and do a terrorist attack? He's meeting his terrorist buddies with his children because he can't find child care. Oh, you millennials. Failures you all are. At a December meeting, one of the FBI employees threatened Hester with a knife, saying he knew where Hester and his family lived, to make a point that Hester was not to plan any attacks of his own, or to scare him into doing the attack for you. You can't do this without us. You must do it for us. Doesn't it make you just really question where the reality we live in? Doesn't it really make you think? How can we allow the population to be dumbed down to a level like this, where this is our society? This is our next generation. I'm 42 years old. This is our next generation, my friends. This dude's 25 years old. We are in trouble. I mean, we are in big trouble. It seems like outrageous conduct, said German, the former FBI agent who noted other aspects of the investigation that he thought seemed odd. The FBI found Hester on Facebook in August and made contact with him through an undercover employee on October 2nd, a day before Hester was arrested in Colombia for reportedly throwing a pocket knife through a grocery store window during an argument with his wife and menacing store employees with a 9mm handgun he carried in a diaper bag. Hester was released from jail on bond and remained under electronic monitoring for the next 3 months as he continued talking with undercover employees and allegedly grew more deeply involved in their plans. In January, Hester pled guilty in the Colombian case. He remained free on bond and was taken off electronic monitoring. The plot with the undercover FBI employees sped up, ending with his arrest in February, a month before he was to be sentenced in Colombia grocery store incident. Now let's review here. So he gets arrested for stupidity. If he would have been on the true radar of the FBI, because remember, out of the 3 people involved in this alleged terrorist plot, he was the only one that didn't work for the government. So, let's just say he happened to be working with 2 guys that weren't working for the government, which he probably wouldn't have came up with half the ideas or the ability to do it without these 2 guys. But let's just say he found 2 guys smarter than him. I don't really think that would be hard, but they also wanted to pull terrorist attacks. And let's just say they moved forward. They had the ability, and they were going to. They had everything plotted. This dumbass would have got arrested 2-3 weeks before anyway, and they would have caught 3 true terrorists instead of 1 dumbass that's going to just do what he's told. 1 patsy to keep the fear going. That's all he is. He's a patsy to keep the fear going. He's not the mastermind of anything. I don't even know if he knows how to wipe his own ass, to be honest with you. I mean, that's just my opinion on this douchebag. He doesn't really sound that smart, guys. So this just goes to prove what all of us crazy conspiracy guys have been saying forever, that most of these events are planned, orchestrated, worked out, figured out, put together by the government, whether it be the FBI, CIA, NSA, MI6, some government agency, somewhere is more than likely behind the next terrorist attack in your backyard. The First 52 will be right back.
Have you ever called into your favorite talk radio program only to encounter this and felt like this? That never happens when you dial 941-421-0401. At RazRadioLive.com, we answer right away. And pow, you're live on the air talking to one of your favorite hosts. No screeners, no delays. Try it now. 941-421-0401. and avoid 941-421-0401. If you're a new listener or a seasoned veteran, don't be scared. 941-421-0401. We welcome all. We know how it feels to be ignored. RazRadioLive.com.
And those people, conspiracy theorists, they've been crazy, but now they're right.
Can I get with 2.3 trillion? When does a citizen become a civilian? When did the heroes morph into the villains? How can 2 planes powderize 3 buildings? These are questions that could get you murked, politically, socially, physically put into the dirt. Many swear that there's some kind of conflict of interest within. The conflict depends upon what you're interested in. You can chant 9/11 was an inside job all day until you say the Mossad and pay closer attention to Flight 175 and the odd cylindrical pod beneath the fuselage. Then it's 2+2 level addition after you factor in the flight termination systems and flashbacks of the cash the good rabbi stole. September 10th style, right down the rabbit hole. Can I get with 2.3? You can get unlimited corporate news. Can I get with 2.3? You can have any mercenaries you choose. What can I get with 2.3 trillion? You can steal a couple million souls. Can I get with 2.3? You can get everything under control. The missile they hit the Pentagon with was not an act of randomness. It murdered accountants, bookkeepers, and budget analysts. That side of the building was retrofitted prior to this to withstand bomb blast and nickname your catcher's mitt. If that don't give you some kind of clue why they blew the mortar, you should probably take some medication for your new disorder. If buildings are burning, don't ever trust a news reporter with 267 stories of gruesome slaughter. Don't ever mention Dov Zakim and trillion stolen money.
I heard a reporter on Sky News say at least one person killed in suicide bomb attack. Yeah, obviously. That is the bare minimum you need to qualify.
Money you can't delve in it. Enough to buy 5 presidents and 12 senates. Can I get with 2.3? You can get unlimited corporate news. Can I get with 2.3? You can have any mercenaries you choose. Can I get with 2.3 trillion? You can steal a couple million souls. Can I get with 2.3? You can get everything under control. Can I get what? Can I get? Can I get with 2.3 trillion? Can I get what? Can I get with 2.3 trillion? What? Can I get with 2.3 trillion?
Everybody, keep this here. 3 words out here. We are change. 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 9/11 truth now. 9/11 truth now.
It's time for a TF52 flashback. The BVO ingredient was used as a flavor emulsifier. Emulsifier, thank you. Helping to distribute Gatorade's coloring throughout the bottle, Carter said.
You were never a guest on Sesame Street, were you?
No. I was on the Muppets once, though, when I was a kid. They did a live Muppets show. They used to do them. Dave, you
really?
Yeah, they used to do them back in the 80s. Do you remember it? It was actually a show on TV. And it was...
Sorry to derail your story,
that's
but
not hard
that's
to do,
hilarious.
Self-derailed. Which is usually how it happens. Anyway, where was I? So now the company... help through color, Carter said. Now the company is swapping in another emulsifier...
Oh, there's that word again. Emulsifier.
That word, emulsifier.
Things that mix
things up. Yeah.
I don't know this word, so I'll just make one up.
You know, you think I know that because we use that a lot in culinary when I was in culinary school.
Yeah.
You know, because you emulsified stuff a lot. I think it's just because it's emulsifier. That's
You
confusing.
still practice that technique.
I think it's the marijuana.
No, I don't do that kind of stuff. Never. With another emulsifier with an intimidating name, sucrose acetate
Isobutrate. If you can't frickin' pronounce it, you shouldn't eat it.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Put your face up to the
Car crash, can't seem to look away. I don't know what's before me, I've died inside. But from my rebirth, I see with brand new eyes. The media lies, the government spies. Free world controlled by devils in disguise. The television flickers and breaks to hypnotize. That's retained by the picture MSG supersize. Another mother cries for her son's lost life. Political greed breeds another genocide. No choices left, stand up and fight. Divided we fall, but united we survive. Now it's time to put the money and the bitches to the side. You'll never truly come up when you live a servant's life.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real.
Now I focused on the pain, I'll take it to the grave. I'd rather die free than live like a slave. I'd rather speak my mind, I won't bite my tongue. If you think I've said it all, I haven't even begun. They bring it to your knees with disease and vaccines. Another line of credit, the American dream. Ron Paul revolution, 20 million screen. But it doesn't really matter to the voting machines. Now they censor this on YouTube, labeled it extreme. Bernanke and his lackeys, printed phony green. Hit us with inflation, annihilate the nation. No investigation of the Bush administration. Obama runs on change, Brzezinski's in his ear. The only thing that changes is the puppet in the year. They open up the borders, truth is on our shoulders. Focus on the pain, this is the new world order. Order.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real.
There is an awakening so huge, it is exponential, and breaking the paradigm and breaking the controlled tiny box reality and seeing the wider universe around us. So there is a consciousness shift in information, analysis, and it is beautiful. And so out of this adversity, it's going to get bad. We're going to be tested. Realize that this is evil trying to maintain control.
You got a little internet or podcasting show or something?
Chocolate Drop.
Hold on, buddy.
What is the Chocolate Drop a show about?
Chocolate Drop?
Drop it on us. I kind of know.
I will not listen if you don't tell me what it's about.
It's about hip-hop,
Rat Turd Show.
politics,
Man skewing.
music.
Hold on, buddy.
Chocolate.
It's every other guy that's got a podcast around here, okay? And where can people find the Chocolate Show? That's man skewing, yes?
Rat Turd Show.
RazRadioLive.com.
There you go. Okay, and when does it air, buddy?
Saturdays, 1 o'clock Eastern Time.
Okay, and where can people find the Chocolate Show? RazRadioLive.com. There you go. I wish you the best, the Chocolate Drop. So basically, it's about every other person that's not in real radio that's trying to get in radio and do a show.
Rat Turd Show.
Knock yourself out, kid.
Rat Turd Show.
RazRadioLive.com. There you go.
It's the chemtrails, guys. It's the government lies. It's the poison in the water, then the media lies. It's the chemtrails, guys. It's the government lies. It's the poison in the water, then the media lies. So open up.
It's the rise of the chemicals. They got ya. This tyranny is medical. Who shot ya? Military generals masquerade as your doctor. Pills become bullets, then they poison your water. A pharmaceutical army built to slaughter. Till men in masks come for your wife and your daughter. Whoa, now what? Here they come for the guns. And God and demons disguised as priests and nuns. Time to run with no place to go except Honduras, with a man called Forto Jones. Skull and bones, invade the skies with robot drones. Check the infrared radar for UFOs. Silvery gold, behold the weather's controlled by genetically modified hybrid clones. Built in bunkers with subjects under mind control. Injected and observed in the combat zone. Now come on.
It's the chemtrails, guys. It's the government lies. It's the poison in the water, then the media lies. It's the chemtrails, guys. It's the government lies. It's the poison in the water, then the media lies.
It's the rise of the chemicals known as shrinking genitals. Experiments with elements funded by these criminals that learn to call them miracles. Scientific warfare, untested medicine, leaving cats in wheelchairs. I have no doubt that they're spraying in the sky, but you gotta pick your poison while you're sorting through these lies. Puffing on formaldehyde when you light a smoke flow. Ride in your water, steroids in your yoke. It's an ongoing joke. Government control, they're laughing at our ass, but we're left out in the cold. $1 billion industry perception that is sold. Take a hunk of metal and turn it into gold. We walk and sing aloud, just like some sheep. So it's time to take the lead, spit knowledge on these beats. Transparency is key, cause we know talk is cheap. Careful where you walk, or you end up in the heat.
It's the chemtrails, guys. It's the government lies. It's the poison in the water, then the media lies. It's the chemtrails, guys. It's the government lies. It's the poison in the water, then the media lies.
I heard a reporter on Sky News say at least one person killed in suicide bomb attack. Yeah, obviously. That is the bare minimum you need to qualify. It was something about burning a copy of the Quran in Afghanistan. I was watching it thinking, I would never burn a copy of the Quran because I've got a Kindle. Just delete it, don't fuck about. I'm not worried about Islamic suicide bombers. They can only do it once. A Hindu suicide bomber, that is more of a threat. Because of the reincarnation. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I was going to talk to you about terrorist